Taylor, and one of the things that I learned while working with these birds is that not all birds have the same number of primaries and secondaries. It seems that most of them are more likely to have a similar number of primaries, but the secondaries can kind of vary a lot. I didn't really know this because the only bird wings that I've really worked with and had to count wings, it was in college, and then also um, first year or two I worked for DNR was wings. And so if I remember correctly, they have 10 primaries, but they have 12 secondaries, whereas a starling has only 9. So it's really interesting that like birds have a variety of secondaries, and it seems that that's because it has to do with how they fly. And so soaring birds and birds of prey, I think, have more, is what I understood. So I thought that was really, really fascinating. I also was really intrigued by like how pretty the starling feathers are. The detail on them is just really insane. So let's start talking about feather groups. So we'll just do like across the body to begin with. So here you would have your crown feathers. As you go down the back of the head, going down the neck, these are your nape feathers or nape. I think it's nape. And then you would have your back feathers here on the bird, and then those would lead all the way down to your retroces or your tail feathers. And then on the bottom side of the bird, if we held it like this, you would have some undertail coverts right in here. As you move further up, you'd have some belly feathers. Then you would have some side feathers kind of underneath where the wings are tucked. And then you move on up, you'd have your breast and then your neck feathers, and then all the way back up to where your mandibles are. And so those are kind of the groups all over the body. But then you also have your wings. And so if you can see here, you would have your primaries, and then you'd have your secondaries. And so your primaries are posterior, so further away from the body. They're asymmetrical, and then they also are more pointed, except for when they get down here, it kind of gets hard. And then your secondaries are more symmetrical. They're anterior to the body, and then they also are more blunt or round. And so you start counting here in the middle. And so here you've got 1 primary, 2 primaries, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So that's 10 primary feathers. And then on the secondaries, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm pretty sure that this is 9. And it honestly looks like this bird was molting there, but I don't notice that up here. So a little confused by that. But overall, I think that's correct. Yeah, and then you have your coverts here, and then your scapularies would be up here, and then your lula would also be here on the wing, so that would be the thumb. Yeah, overall, it's really cool to see these birds and just how pretty they are. It's cool to actually hold what I would consider a songbird in your hand because you don't often get to do that, especially dead ones. And I'm kind of glad that they're invasive or naturalized, whatever you want to call it, so that we can actually like touch and feel and see these. So I really enjoyed working with them. The double wings in the box were also pretty cool, but I've seen those quite often. So I think that's it.